Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new issue of Mortal Realms magazine. Now, as per usual, if you like these videos, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to help the channel too. And without further ado, let's crack on with it. So, this week we are on issue 71 of Mortal Realms magazine, and we have the last part of the scenery, which is the Gryph-hound statues. With the Gryph-hound statues, I must admit, considering I don't care much about good old scenery pieces every now and again, these are one of the better scenery pieces. I do like them because they're a bit more unique and a bit different, and they're just not ruins, which is always nice. But yeah, pretty cool. Many ways of course to paint them, so you can go for the way that there is on the cover here. So looking like they're on a sandstone base with basalt on the top, and then kind of a bluey copper effect, like it's oxidized and everything like that. Entirely up to you how you want to paint it. You can paint them gold if you wanted to. If you want to paint them with Ironbreaker, go for it. Do it how you want to. Have fun with it. You can make them look like they're made out of stone instead of ironwork if you wanted to as well. Just have fun and do it how you want, and if you go wrong, you can paint over it, it's fine. Anyway, into the issue itself, we are greeted by the Soulblight Gravelords. So of course, the Soulblight Gravelords are among the oldest and deadliest creatures in the realms. These ancient terrors command Nagash's rotting armies to conquer the worlds of the living. Soulblight Gravelords are of course one of the newest factions to the Age of Sigmar. I've got a few of them. I really like them. They're really fantastic. So you have everything from, in the Soulblight Gravelords can be covered from like Radakar the Wolf, Belladama, you have Lauka Vey, you have Prince Duval and the Crimson Court, you have Blood Knights, Death Rattle Skeletons can be added to it, same with the Dead Walker zombies. Really good stuff. Lots of choices, lots of different ways of making them, painting them and having fun with them, and they are a pretty cool looking army as well. And of course with the Soulblight Gravelords, they have their own Soulblight curse, of course, which has blighted the mortal realms for countless years. Those afflicted are transformed into hideously strong, swift and bloodthirsty vampires. These creatures are the rulers of vast legions of the undead. Riding forth from rotting keeps and dark towers, they command groaning throngs of death rattle skeletons, dead walker zombies, and all manner of other undead monstrosities in their battles against the living. So, there are of course a few ultra famous good old vampires. So you have Manfred von Karstein, who is one of the Mortarchs as well, and you also have the Mortarch of Blood, which is good old Neferata as well, who is another one of the Soulblight that have been brought forth from the worlds of old as well. There is of course different dynasties that have their own kind of unique traits. So there's the Vycross dynasty, which is have a powerful curse that makes them more savage and animalistic and very wolf-like in a lot of ways. Radakar is one of this dynasty, the same with Belladama here. There is the Karstay dynasty, who are more kind of just a noble and more of an honourable way of vampiric knights. And then there is the Vengori, which is Lauka Vey, and they are more at home in Gur as well, and have their own kind of a monstrous side as well, which they don't really take too much efforts to hide as well, with Lauka Vey being a kind of a half transformed vampire, and kind of stuck in a little bit way because she was caught in a spell, which is always fun. Then we have some more information about the Stormcast Tunnels, and this includes the Vanguard Paladors. So the Vanguard Paladors are another mounted unit. They are mounted on Gryph chargers. They have, of course, fantastic speed, and they like to attack deep behind the enemy lines as a mounted unit, which are really cool. And of course they have different weapons, so from things like the Starstrike Javelins to the shock hand axes and stuff like that as well. Sometimes they do carry the Stormbolt pistols, which are pretty cool, which are, you know, pretty unique, pretty different, and makes them quite cool. And of course, Vanguard Paladors are always, of course, members of the Angelos Conclaves, and they are part of the Rangers and everything like that, and Wing Prosecutors as well. So really good stuff and good information about these guys. And if you can get some of them, have fun with painting them as well. So really, really good stuff. Then we have some more information about Morathi. So of course, Morathi is one of the most powerful beings in the mortal realm. She is a master manipulator and schemer who's transformed herself into a god, and she leads an army of incredible power. So Morathi, of course, is one of the pretty coolest models, because there is two versions. There is the regular Morathi and the transformed Morathi. And they have a lot of different versions of elves as well, from the Melusai and everything like that as well. And they are very, very determined to fight the kind of forces of Slaanesh. And they are, of course, the Daughters of Cain. So, and yeah, pretty unique units. They have some really, really cool stuff. So there is the Daughters of Cain and the Melusai as well, the Melusai Blood Warriors and everything like that. And they worship the god of murder, who Morathi kind of becomes. Morathi Cain is a god unlike any other being. When she ascended to her godhood, her very essence was split into two entities. The darkness of Morathi Cain's soul is represented by the monstrous Shadow Queen, so which is the incredible winged serpent like creature, which is an absolute fantastic model. I must admit, it's one of the best models I think I've ever seen. I really, really like it. I think it's it's outstanding. It's really, really good. Your how to build section, very, very simple. There's not a lot going on with the Griffhound statues, but have fun building them, and of course have fun painting them, because there is a simple way of painting them. So there is the way that these guys do it. Don't brush dry Corax white. Either buy a white primer spray paint and spray them, which will be far, far better and far less time consuming for you and cheaper overall, or get the Corax white spray paint. Either way, spray them, do not brush paint them, for the base coat especially, because yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It will take you ages. You're going to use multiple coats. So the way they do it, of course, is they just kind of tell you to do 3 coats, which if you're painting straight from the pot is going to be very, very thick and is not going to go very well, and you're going to fill in a lot of the detail and the engravings and the etchings on the actual plinth itself. If you're doing it thin down, it's going to take ages. It's going to take you quite a while, because you're going to have to let that dry and yeah, get on with it. But spray paint it. By all means, spray paint your models, whether you're doing it white, whether you're doing it grey, whether you're doing it black, spray paint it. Makes life so much easier. If you're in UK, the weather's warm-ish now, so now is the right time to get your spray paint out, get your all scenery bits that you haven't painted, and spray the hell out of them. Go to your local B&M, your Wilco's, or anywhere like that, or even Halfords, and buy grey primer. A light grey primer or dark grey primer, anything you want. As long as it's a primer, it will stick very, very well. It will work very, very well as well. You put a couple of washes over it, a bit of dry brushing here and there, and you're done. That simple. So entirely up to you how you want to do it though. But yeah, just do it the simplest way. Do it the easiest way. It's scenery. You don't have to go over the top with it. Anyway, so there is of course doing it that way. So there is other alternate colour schemes which the magazine is going to show you as well. So you could do them with a red statue if you wanted to, which looks a bit unusual. You could do them blue, which looks even weirder. You could do it metallic, so if you wanted to have it using Ironbreaker or something like that over it, or gold, or even Balthasar gold, or hash hook copper, anything like that, you can make them stand out quite well. If you want to do them all as one tone, you could do it sandstone, So you need something like Wraithbone over the top of it, Skeleton Horde, and then Drybush Wraithbone back over it, and you'll get a very nice sandstone-y look out of it if you wanted to. You could do it Limestone, where you just use Corax White, and then Skeleton Horde or Seraphim Sepia, and then Drybush back over with White, and it'll look a bit more like Limestone. If you want to do it black, use Abaddon Black, and then things like Drybush over things like Mechanica Standard Grey or Corvus Black and stuff like that to kind of get you different shades in there, and then a Mid-Stratum Grey to get your fine highlights. But you can have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of scope that you can do with these statues, entirely up to you how you want to do it, but there are many different ways. Enjoy painting. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Enjoy your painting. That's the main thing. Anyway, into the core rules. So you have a bit more about Triumph and Treachery. So this is more of your core rules. This is page 12 of your main core rules as well. So this will allow you to include more players in your battles, and with these rules you'll be able to fight thrilling multiplayer conflicts with epic duels and shocking betrayals. So whether you're kind of going to team up and then betray each other, you can do that if you wanted to. But yeah, really good stuff. But you get to have a lot more fun if you wanted to as well. The phases as well, broken down here as well, carrying on with all your different phases. So your hero phase, movement phase, shooting phase, charge phase, combat phase, and battle shock phase. How victory points are worked out and everything like that for when you're using in Triumph and Treachery games, and your multiplayers and everything like that if you wanted to. Very good stuff though, but you got a lot of scope, so you've got more ways of doing extra bits and pieces. So if you don't want to do your Triumph and Treachery, there is a very good way of getting yourself going with it. So you can have 4 players, for instance, and have 2 Stormcast armies and 2 Nighthaunt armies joining forces, combating each other, and everything like that if you wanted to. You can have a lot of fun with it. So pick out your army, whichever army you're going to pick first, and you can have a bit of fun with that battle plan, and you have your deployment areas. Enjoy yourself. That's the best way I can describe it. Enjoy yourself. Then we have a normal 2-player battle plan, which is the Edge of the Knife. So you pick 2 choices from the Stormcast Heroes list, and then 4 choices from the Troops list, and you do exactly the same for the Nighthaunt Heroes. So really good stuff. 4 battle maps, 3 objectives, have them in a diagonal pattern, and you're kind of not opposite each other, but kind of adjacent to each other in a roundabout way for where you're starting. Have fun, enjoy it. It's a really good battle plan. It looks pretty cool. Has a lot of interesting ideas behind it, and you've got a bit more scope to do a bit more things with it as well, depending on how you play it. Really good stuff though. On to next week though. Next week we get the Mortarch of Grief, Lady Alinda. So Lady Alinda is probably one of the coolest models that you can get that's coming with this magazine. It's absolutely fantastic. Issue 72 is going to be an absolute brilliant one. Really good stuff. Yeah, it's just a super cool model. I'm not going to lie to you. It is probably one of the nicest Nighthaunt models out there. Some very delicate fiddly bits with all them vines and the strands of hair from the handmaidens and everything like that. But yeah, you can get a really nice looking model, really cool one. Enjoy painting it. It's a really good one. I really love that model. Issue 73, we get a new Stormcast hero, which is Neve Blacktalon. Yeah, really good model as well. Been around for a little while, the Neve Blacktalon model has, and has of course a novel after her as well, which is based on her exploits, but a really cool one. The issues are winding down, so if you haven't checked it out, of course, check out the What's Coming Up Soon that I did a couple of days ago, and also the release date for Imperium magazine. If you haven't checked it out, it is available on my channel now. Watch the video, have fun with it, and I will catch you in the very near future. Bye bye now.